Well, good Saturday morning to you folks. Today, got a lot of things to do today, and I'm going to kind of take y'all along with me. But the main thing that I want to do and that I want to work on today is I want to start working on getting my mist system put up and get it put together. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to have to cut one of my main water lines and do some plumbing and some reworking of some water delivery stuff. So we're going to just see how all this goes. To be honest, I've been kind of delaying doing this because I've been kind of dreading it. I hate cutting into my water lines, but I've got to have mist propagation going. So I haven't started particularly early today, but looking forward to working on this today. It's going to be a hot day today, and may have one or two other things come up. We've already sold about 30 trees this morning, and like a couple other days I mentioned, we're not even open, but I've got a few things posted on Facebook Marketplace, so that's been a good start to the morning. But mainly today we're going to be working on getting this irrigation / mist system set up. It's not irrigation, it's mist for propagation. So look forward to just kind of showing y'all what the day looks like. At least maybe this will go faster than I think. All I can tell you is that we'll see. But thank you guys for being here today. So let's get some mist put together. All right, guys, so we've moved down here to, this is our shade house where we do our potting and all of that. And one of our water lines that I put in, this is an irrigation line for that shade area and for this shade house. So we're gonna actually cut this irrigation line right down here by my foot. We're gonna cut into that. I've just made a little shallow trench right here. It's about 10 feet long or so that comes over this way. And we're going to set up our propagation area over here. So we just need to move some of these old plants out of the way and just do a little quick cleanup out here. We'll set up our propagation here. But one thing worth mentioning, this little trench right here, it's just a couple of inches deep, and I'm only doing that to get the pipe out of the way. Where I live, we don't worry about freezing pipes a whole lot in the winter, but these pipes will be drained out anyway, so all we need to do is get them out of the way, so there's no need to dig a deep trench or a wide trench or anything like that. Just so we can walk through without tripping on the pipe is all we're trying to do. So that's going to be the first step today, is to go over here and cut the water line so we can start laying the pipe down to get over here for our mist controls and the like. All right, guys, I'm going to cut this line, and I've turned the water off to the line, but the line is still under pressure until I cut it. So there's going to be quite a bit of water come out here. But this is just step one, so then I'm going to just cut into the line and put a T coming off of the line. So take my PVC cutters and just bite in. Ooh, there it comes. There we go. Not too much, actually. Just some trickle coming out there, but we're going to just let that drain off. Just give that a few minutes to drain off so that pipe and everything there can dry up, because we're going to have to put another little cut here to make a gap in there to put a T in it. So we're just going to leave that be for a minute. Okay. Yeah. All right, we have taken this joint here, put a T in it, come out and elbowed down this way, about 10 feet over here, up and out of the ground a couple of inches, and over this way we've put our valve. So now we're going to turn the water on and make sure everything works. So guys, we just put this little wooden frame together. This is roughly 4 feet by 8 feet in size. There's nothing special about that. And I want to really emphasize this, that you don't get hung up on exactly what this looks like and exactly what size this is, because it does not matter. Truth be known, this is probably a little bit taller than I would like for it to be, and that's fine. This is just some lumber, scrap wood that we had laying around, so we just used what we had. You can make a low tunnel like I've showed you how to do. You can make, you can lay something over some sawhorses. You just need to have some sort of structure that you can use to shade your cuttings. You might be able to get away with putting this under a tree. For years, I propagated underneath a dogwood tree and used that for my shade, but you've got to come up with some kind of shade to cover your cuttings with, or else they're going to cook out in the hot sun. So it's worth mentioning too that the way that I'm going to build my propagation system, I've never done one like this before, so I'm kind of showing you guys this as I'm learning how to do it. I'm going to need some kind of frame overhead like this to hang my PVC pipe from, because I'm going to irrigate from a position where the pipe is going to be above the cuttings, and the sprayers will spray down like this instead of spraying up like I've done in the past. So this serves the purpose of being able to hang a shade cloth on it, and it also will serve the purpose of being able to hang my pipe from it. I'm going to come right in here and put another 2x4 across here just for a little bit more strength to hang my pipe from. So that'll be among the next things we do. And we've also got to come down here and put a pressure regulator in, because I've got way too much water pressure, as you guys saw. When we turn the water on down there, I mean, it's like a fire hose, and that's going to be way too much for a mist application. So that's just not what we want at all. So I've got a few more things to do here, but here's our beginning frame, and it can be extended that way however far we want to extend it. This will just be where it starts. All right, folks, so the next thing that we've done, our shutoff valve is right here. I just showed you that. I have come in here right here and put a pressure regulator in here, because I have crazy 100 plus PSI water pressure. That's like outrageously high. So for mist, you don't need it that high, and I'm pretty sure that my mist controller is not going to be able to handle that. So I'm going to dial our water pressure way, way, way back, probably to 40 or 50 or something like that. You probably do not need to do that, but if you've got really high water pressure, you might need to. So that being said, the next step is to take our irrigation timer here and put it in line next. And all I've done is taken these little white PVC adapters. They're threaded, so they just twist it in there, put some Teflon tape on them, and thread them in there. And the next thing I'm going to do is just glue this in line, and inside this little housing, how do you open that, is my irrigation controller, and the solenoid valve is all right here in one, and I'll show you this up closer here in just a second. All right, guys, so let's talk about this propagation irrigation timer valve for a minute. This is the timer and the valve all in one unit, and in all honesty, 100% honesty, I am not recommending that you use this valve. I've never used it before, and this is a battery-powered all-in-one valve. So a lot of times you'll have the timer and the valve separate from each other, connected by a longer wire. If you've got this hardwired into your electrical system where you're not using battery, but you're using actual AC power. I don't have AC power out here. I don't have electricity out here. So I looked and looked and looked and looked for a battery-powered propagation timer control. That is not an easy thing to find. And I found this one. The brand of this one is DIG. It's D-I-G. They sell a lot of irrigation stuff, but the timer and controller, or I should say the controller, is built in right here. I don't know how to program it yet. I'm going to look into exactly how to do that. And again, I'm not recommending that you use this one because I've never used it. I don't even have batteries in this one yet, so I'm not sure about it. I'll have to give it some time and use it for a season before I can say yay or nay on it. But the point of what this does is all right here in one spot. This will control the on and off of our mist, and mist has to be sprayed in seconds, and most irrigation timers are not made to work on a seconds timer. Most applications in irrigation run for minutes or longer at a time as opposed to seconds, and that's really what a propagation timer is. It runs in seconds. So when you're looking for your own timer, that's one of the things that you need to look for, is a propagation timer that has the word propagation in it and that has a function on it to run in seconds in addition to being able to run in minutes. So this is just what I'm using. It's battery powered, it's contained. This thing's relatively cheap. It was around $100, and I'm gonna give it a try and we'll see how it goes. All right guys, just kind of where we are in the project now. We have installed down low our pressure regulator, then we have installed our controller. Then we came out of that with 3/4 inch PVC, that's the size of our line out here, and we have ran it up vertically, and now it sits right here below my hand. This is just kind of a loose piece here, but it's right, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it sits right here. And now we're gonna build our, I'll call this a manifold. This is the part that our actual mist heads will be fastened into, and it's gonna run across the top of this, fastened to the underside of these 2x4s that go across this way. It'll be fastened to the underside of it, and then the mist will spray down from there. So let me show you our mist heads that we're going to be using, and then we'll get this thing put together and we'll test it out. Now right here, I'm just giving you this view to show you these parts and what I'm using. This is my 3/4 inch water line that will be fastening to the underside of the 2x4s, and just for the size of area that I'm trying to cover here, at least in the initial parts of this project, we're going to take a T, which is a 3/4 inch T, and we're going to put it in the line. So we'll cut the line, glue it in each end, and this is a threaded, 1/2 inch threaded. So it's 3/4 by 3/4 by 1/2 inch, and the 1/2 inch is threaded on the inside. Then we're going to take our mist heads. This is what I call a mist head. I don't know what it's called, but it's what I'm calling it. And that will thread right into that. So you can see how that's going to work. So I'll put some Teflon. I'm just doing this just to show you. But that threads into there. We'll tighten that on up, but we'll put some tape on those threads so there's not water just leaking everywhere. And then those will fasten right in line like that. And then we'll put a cap on the end of the pipe to cap it off, and that will be our setup. All right, folks, here is the finished product, and we've tested it out. And you might notice that this is considerably lower than it was a little while ago. And when we tested this out, it was really windy out here, and with it being up at, you know, about 4 feet high, now it's about 2 feet high, the wind was blowing the mist all out here instead of up underneath there where it needed to be. So the way that we resolved that, at least for now, was to cut the legs in half so this thing's sitting 2 feet high instead of 4 feet high. So thankfully it was windy today when we went to put all of this together. I want to just show you a couple of things here. Here are the mist heads. They hang down, as you can see right here, and then another one is right down there. And we only used 2 of them to cover this area that's approximately 4 feet by 8 feet in size, but it seems to cover it really well. And the last thing that we're going to do is just take a shade cloth and cover this with it, and probably even double it. I like for the shade to black this out pretty good. I don't want a whole lot of sun getting through to these cuttings. And what we'll be able to do as soon as we fill this area in with plants here, we just capped off the end of the pipe, and we'll be able to extend this whole thing straight out this way, really as far as we want to within reason. I'm not sure how many mist heads that 3/4 inch water line can run, but it's only running 2, and I imagine it can run at least 8, maybe 10 or more. I really don't know, but that'll be more plants than we can even propagate. So we just left this available to bring it right on out this way. So that's kind of our mist system set up. As you can see, kind of back under there is the mist controller. We'll give that a look, and I'll report on that after I actually use it and tell you guys if that thing's working or not, or if it's any good. Again, I told you that it was a Dig, that's the brand, battery powered timer, but haven't actually used it yet beyond just testing it out. So we're going to finish getting this set up, and in very short order we'll start propagating plants. All right guys, so I hope this is helpful to you to show how we've built our new mist system. I've never built one like this before. I've never used one like this before. So this is all kind of a new setup to me, and we're gonna try to, okay, there you go, it works. We're gonna try to get plant propagation, I'm getting wet. We're gonna try to get plant propagation started big time. So we're looking forward to that, and we'll show you guys that as we go along. Hey guys, thank y'all for watching today. I love y'all, and we'll see you on the next one.